Hello, everybody. Alright, so we're going to do a little walkthrough of the storyboards, so that way you guys who will get an idea of what we're going to be doing. Alright, so let's get started. So this is going to be the first shoot that we do on Saturday. It's starting on page 4 of the script where it says exterior quiet downtown day, where we're going to be meeting on that road where there's brackens and two doors in downtown Maryville. So shot 1 is going to be in front of the theater on that street. It's your classic wide shot, and it's going to have Brandon, Jackson, and Tim. So we're going to shoot that one with a wide angle lens. And then here's shot 2. So shot 2 is from that same perspective with a telephoto. And it starts on Jackson and moves in front of Brandon in the middle. And then Brandon, as he walks in front of Tim, we're going to follow that. So it's going to just be slowly panning from left to right. So here's shot 3. Brandon's in the foreground as we're following him as he's walking. He lights a cig, moves towards the camera, and then he eventually leans against the wall. And you see the other two characters in the background. Here's shot 4. It's a full body of Tim as he walks past Brandon as he's leaning against the wall. Shot 5 is a close-up of Brandon. He's sort of contemplating the movie that they just watched. He takes a little smoke and he says, "So that movie fucking sucked." Then we move to Jackson. Jackson says, "For real, man, that shit was fucking awesome. Any movie that doesn't have superheroes punching each other in the damn nuts sucks to you, bro. You're fucking basic." Shot 7. This is going to be an insert shot of Tim laughing as Jackson says the insult, "You're fucking basic." Here's shot 8. Brandon in the center with Tim and Jackson on either side of him. This is where he says, "Basic my dick, Jackson. You telling me that shit made sense to you? You hearing this shit, Tim?" Close up of Tim in shot 9. He goes, Shot 10. Tim is still the centerpiece, but we're pulling back so we can see all 3 characters. Jackson says, "Yeah, it made sense, stupid." Shot 11 is a close-up of Brandon. It's an over-the-shoulder of where Jackson is. And Brandon says to Jackson, "Okay, genius, explain it to me. Like I'm stupid." Here's shot 12, a close-up of Jackson as he's trying to explain to Brandon. "You gotta look at it abstractly, Brandon. Have you ever had a really weird dream and you spent all day trying to interpret it, like trying to figure out what your subconscious is trying to tell you?" Shot 13 is just an insert shot that's going to go in while Jackson is saying his dialogue from shot 12. And it's just over the shoulder of Jackson's head while Brandon's rolling his eyes. Shot 14, a little farther back over the shoulder of Jackson, as him and Tim are the figures in this, because they're trying to show solidarity between the two of them. He kind of says, rolling his eyes, "Yeah, abstractly, like a dream. Got it. Okay, go on." Okay, on shot 15, it's an even closer one of Jackson. "Yeah, the whole movie was literally someone's dream. Like, Rita and Betty were the same person, feel me? Betty was like this idealized version of how the dreamer saw themselves, and Rita was the person that Hollywood dream, get it? Dream, turned them into." Tim says, "Oh, I could see that actually. Damn, that's some good shit." Jackson says, "I'm saying." Shot 19, and over the shoulder of Jackson, we're looking at Brandon and Tim again. This is a bit of a longer shot. Starting with Brandon saying, "Psh, man, what a bunch of bullshit. Tim, this knucklehead making any sense to you?" Tim says, "I think so, yeah." Jackson says, "See, Tim gets it, and you're uncultured ass, bro." And Brandon says, "Man, whatever. All I'm saying is I'm picking what movie we see from now on. We're holding a vote. Who says I pick the movie from now on?" And then Brandon raises his hand, looks over to Tim. Shot 20 is a close-up of Tim. He's looking back at Brandon, who's off camera, and he slowly raises his hand. Shot 21 is going to start with a close-up of Tim and Brandon bumping fists, and then the camera is going to move from Brandon's fist up to his face. Brandon says, "Hell yeah, Tim," the pound. And then as we move to his face, he says to Jackson, "Majority rules, bitch." And Jackson says off camera, "Tim, you're fucking with me, right?" Shot 22, close-up of Tim. These artsy movies are cool and all, brother, but I'm trying to see Tom Cruise drive motorcycles off cliffs too, you know what I'm saying? Cut back to Brandon as he takes a little drag. He goes, "Hell yeah." Shot 24, Tim moves into Jackson's space. "Cheer up, bud. Man, I think these kill yourself movies got you all in your head anyway." Close up of Brandon as he makes a little cigarette kiss to light another one. Shot 26. So this one isn't very well explained through the image. This is where the image kind of ends up, but it starts out with a waist-up image of Brandon as he gets up from leaning against the wall. And basically, the camera guy is going to be walking backwards, and Brandon is going to be moving towards the sidewalk, walking, and is going to be walking towards the camera. And then Jackson and Tim follow behind as he's walking and saying his dialogue. So here's shot 28. When Brandon hears Tim say his line, where he says, "Oh, so Brandon, amazing big brother of ours," he stops walking. Okay? And Tim approaches him and puts a shoulder around him. So the lines are, "So Brandon, amazing big brother of ours," puts his arm around him and says, "So what are you about to get into?" Shot 29, we're moving about 45 degrees where Brandon is in profile and Tim is the figure here. Brandon says, "Bro, I just told you, I'm going to go see Felicia. I'm trying to spit some game. So y'all got to keep yourselves occupied for the next little bit." And Tim says, "Can we?" Shot 30 is a close-up of Jackson. He's smiling at toward Brandon and Tim. Shot 31, we're back to Tim and Brandon. This is a waist up. Brandon says, "Get some fucking jobs? Sure, that would be great." Jackson says, "Bro." Shot 32, close-up of Jackson's face. "Mom wouldn't have left all her money to you if she knew you'd be such a dick about it. And you get a fucking job." Shot 33, Tim and Brandon. Tim moves his arm off of Brandon's shoulder and looks towards Jackson, who's off camera. "Whoa, Jackson, chill, bro." Brandon, "I know you're trying to do your thing, man. Come on, can we all just 30? We're just trying to get some bud at the park, man. I'll pay you back Friday, I swear." Alright, so this is going to be a really tight shot, and it's showing Brandon take his wallet out of his back pocket, and then he's going to pull the money out, and he's going to hand the money to Tim. And as he's doing it, we're going to hear the dialogue from Brandon. "Yep, heard that shit before. And for the record, Mom left the money to me because she knew you knuckleheads would just blow it, but whatever, here." Shot 35, back to Tim and Brandon. Jackson moves in to the space where Tim and Brandon have been occupying up to that point. And as he moves in, Jackson says, "Hell yeah, thanks, bro. And so you know, spending money on bitches and cocaine would not be blowing it." Tim says, "Right?" So shot 35 is a zoom. This first image that you're seeing is where Jackson and Tim move in. And now, after they say their dialogue, they walk off, moving forward from left to right, past Brandon. As they're walking past, we're going to zoom in to Brandon's face as he watches them walk off. And once we're zoomed in, he's going to say, "Yeah, cocaine and hookers. Jesus Christ, get a new joke." Shot 36. Now this one's probably going to be done on a wide angle lens in order to maximize the depth of field that we would need for this shot. So it starts out with the cigarette falling where Brandon drops it and he steps on the cigarette and he walks off. The camera goes from being on the ground to moving up and standing over the crushed cigarette. And then the camera's going to tilt upwards, and we're going to see Brandon walking away from us down the sidewalk. And then it's going to continue to tilt upwards until we're looking at the sky. And then when we settle on the sky, we're going to fade to black. And that's the scene.